Hold up, what if I told you there are 5 Asian countries with a secret pathway to a US green card in 2025? Something you probably haven't heard about yet, and trust me, it's no accident. There's a hidden agenda here, a global strategy that the US government doesn't want you to know about, but we're about to expose it. This isn't just about immigration. This is a game-changing shift with massive consequences that could flip everything you thought you knew about the US visa system upside down. Stick around, because we're about to dive into the shocking truth. And hey, if you want to stay ahead of this insider knowledge, hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss what's coming next. All right, listen up because we're about to get real and I'm not holding back. You know what pisses me off more than anything? The fact that people just like you are sitting there too afraid to grab the opportunities that are right in front of them. You think Thailand's rise as a tech powerhouse is just a cute little blip? No, it's a fucking revolution. And you better believe the US government is taking notice while you sit there twiddling your thumbs. Why? Because they know exactly what you're too damn scared to admit. The world is changing, and if you're not paying attention, you're gonna get left behind. These small countries you think don't matter? Thailand, for example, is about to tear the fucking game wide open, and the US is practically begging them to send over their tech talent. They know it, I know it, and deep down, you know it too. Now, don't come at me with that same old tired line of, oh, the green card process is too hard, I can't do it. Get the hell out of here with that weak shit. You've been using that excuse for years. Do you think the US gives a damn about your sob story? They want the best, the brightest, the ones who can push the limits of what's possible. You think Surasak, some dude from Bangkok, had an easy time? No, but here's the thing, he didn't give up, and now, guess what? The US is practically throwing a green card at his face. But you, sitting there on your couch in your comfort zone, scared of taking that first damn step. Thailand? It's not just some tech hub that sprouted overnight. They've been grinding, building an ecosystem, and turning out skilled workers in droves. And now the US is knocking on their door, begging for their talent. Why? Because the US isn't stupid. They know damn well that the future of AI, software, and cybersecurity is not being built in some overpriced Silicon Valley apartment. It's being built in places like Bangkok, Jakarta, and Manila. You're telling me you're not going to pay attention to this? You're not going to acknowledge that the US is opening doors for people like you? For people in Thailand who have the skills, who are actually making a fucking difference in the world, while you sit there playing small? Here's the thing, Thailand's tech scene isn't a fluke. It's growing because they're doing it better. They're doing it faster and they're doing it smarter. And the US wants in on that. They need the people who can help them push forward, not the ones sitting on their asses waiting for the magic to happen. If you're not pissed off by that, you're not paying attention. The US has completely shifted their focus, and you're still sitting there crying about how hard it is to get a green card? No one's coming to save you. You have to make your own fucking move. Thailand's tech professionals are showing you how it's done. And if you're too scared to take that step, that's your problem, not theirs. If you think things are just gonna magically fall into your lap, you've got another thing coming. You've got people in Thailand, people in places like Vietnam and Indonesia who are out here killing it. They're proving you don't need to wait for some handout. You need to work your damn ass off and the rest will follow. And don't give me that shit about how it's too late or there's no point. The world is changing right now. People who were once ignored are now being actively recruited. People like Surasak didn't sit there waiting for someone to hand them a damn green card. They went out and grabbed it. So what the hell are you waiting for? You need to wake the hell up. Thailand's getting noticed. You can either sit there and watch, or you can get up and go take what's yours. But don't come crying to me when you realize you missed your shot. Here's the promise. If you don't get your ass in gear, you'll be stuck watching everyone else leave you in the dust. You have a chance right now to move with the wave. Get on the boat or be left behind with the rest of the losers. Now, I'm done holding back. Smash that like button if you know I'm speaking the truth. Subscribe because I'm about to lay out the facts for you, the ones you've been too scared to face, and trust me, you're gonna wanna hear what comes next. If you're not on the cutting edge of this shift, you're already too late. Time to wake up. You want the truth? All right, buckle the fuck up. Let's talk about Malaysia. Number 4 on the list, and why this country is straight up storming into the US green card system like a wrecking ball. Let me tell you something the media won't say out loud. The United States is desperate, yeah, desperate, for skilled talent. And while everyone's out here still jerking off to outdated stereotypes, Malaysia is quietly building a fucking empire in Southeast Asia. I'm talking about booming finance hubs, surging tech sectors, and a trade infrastructure so tight it's got American companies drooling. You think I'm exaggerating? Look at the damn numbers. Malaysia's economy is projected to grow by 5.5% this year. That's not luck, that's strategy. While other nations are flailing with political drama and broken systems, Malaysia's over here laying fiber optics, training coders, and minting world-class financial analysts like it's a goddamn assembly line. And guess what Uncle Sam is doing? He's watching closely because the US is waking up to the fact that it can't win this global talent war without tapping into countries like Malaysia. So what do? They quietly rolled out a faster, smoother green card process for Malaysians in finance, technology, business management, and international trade in 2025. Yeah, while most people are still stuck trying to decode outdated visa forms, Malaysians in these sectors are walking straight through the fucking door. Let me tell you a story because clearly some people only wake up when there's a human face on the situation. Jason Lim, 32, born in Penang, financial analyst with 6 years of experience. He watched his parents work their asses off, survive 2 recessions, and still get denied a shot abroad because the system is complicated. Jason almost bought into that bullshit too, until he read about the US targeting skilled Malaysian professionals. He said, F it, applied through the new streamlined pathway, and now he's managing millions in assets in a mid-sized firm in Austin, Texas. No silver spoon, no Ivy League degree, just pure skill, a hard work ethic, and a government finally smart enough to say, we need this guy. Now, here's where I'm gonna piss some of you off. If you're Malaysian sitting on talent in tech, finance, or business, and you're still hesitating to apply for that green card, that's on you. The US literally opened the fucking gates. They're practically begging for people like you to help rebuild their crumbling workforce. If you don't take that shot, you'll regret it in 5 years when you're watching your peers live the dream you slept on. Let me throw some reality in your face. Tech jobs in the US are going unfilled. Over 400,000 open positions right now. Cybersecurity is short nearly 3 million qualified workers globally. Finance firms are bleeding for analysts and strategists, especially those with international exposure. So what the fuck is stopping you? Malaysia is now considered a strategic economic partner by the US, not some second-tier trade buddy. They've built the roads, educated the workforce, and earned their seat at the damn table. If you're a skilled Malaysian, the red carpet is being rolled out. You gonna walk it, or what? Now, don't you dare click away just yet. I want you to smash that like button if you're tired of being lied to. Comment below, are you taking the leap or making excuses? And hey, if this one hit a nerve, wait till you see what's coming next. We're about to expose the next country the US is eyeing like a hawk, and it's not who you think. Stay angry, stay real, because while the world's asleep at the wheel, we're out here ripping the truth out of its fucking throat. See you in the next one. I'm not here to whisper sweet nothings or pat your back with feel-good quotes. I'm here to rip the band-aid off and show you what's really going on behind this so-called American dream that's slowly turning into a bureaucratic nightmare. And if you're still sitting on the fence, wondering why India is sitting at number 3 on this list of countries tied to the US green card explosion in 2025, let me spell it out in big, bold, pissed off letters. Because the system is fucked, and India is the one bleeding the hardest for it. Let's talk about Arab. Not some fantasy name I pulled out of a hat. This is every second engineer, coder, nurse, PhD, you name it, who's grinding their ass off to keep American industries alive. You know how you like your 24/7 customer service, your glitch-free apps, your hospital running despite half the local staff quitting post-COVID? Yeah, thank an Indian immigrant. But guess what? That same guy you're applauding, he's been stuck on an H-1B visa for over a decade, praying every year not to get booted out. Why? Because this broken-ass system still follows a 1990 rule that limits each country to 7% of total green cards per year. That's right, the same cap whether you're the size of India with 1.4 billion people or fucking Liechtenstein with 39,000. How is that not the dumbest shit you've ever heard? And here's where it gets darker, gut punch time. Arav's kid, born and raised in the US, speaks better English than you and eats PB&J like any other American. But guess what? Once that kid turns 21, they age out of their visa status and get thrown into the immigration meat grinder. Sorry, Junior, pack your bags and go back to a country you barely know. That's what this system says. And you're telling me this is fair? Hell no. Over 1.2 million Indian professionals are trapped in this bottleneck, waiting for a green card like it's some fucking golden ticket from Willy Wonka. Some of them are told they might get their shot in 134 years. Read that again, 134 years. Are we handing out citizenship or planning reincarnation? But America is the land of opportunity. Yeah? Well, it's also the land of bureaucratic bullshit where the government screams, "We need tech talent," and then turns around and says, "But wait your turn for 12 decades. Let me ask you, if you were Arov, what the hell would you do? Keep paying taxes, building your company's next billion-dollar software while the system treats you like a fucking temp? Or pack up and move to Canada, Australia, the UK, countries that are now licking their lips to snatch up this talent America's letting rot in line? And guess what? They're leaving. America is losing the very people keeping its lights on in healthcare, tech, engineering, cybersecurity, because someone in Washington still thinks we're living in 1995. This is an immigration policy. This is sabotage. And it needs to end. Now to you watching this, if you've ever waited, worried, or felt like your future is being held hostage by paperwork, drop your story in the comments, let it out, vent, rage, cry, scream. I'll read it. Hell, I'll shout it from the rooftops if I have to. And smash the like button if you're sick and tired of being told to wait your turn while the damn system plays God with your life. Oh, you think this was intense? Wait till we show you what's going down in country number 2. It's about to get even uglier, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Stick around, speak up, because the people at the top won't fix this shit unless we scream loud enough. And believe me, I've just cleared my fucking throat. You ever hear that line, size doesn't matter? Well, Singapore is the walking proof of that. Tiny island, barely a dot on the goddamn map, yet it's out here flexing harder than countries 10 times its size. And guess what? The US finally stopped pretending not to notice. But let's rewind for a second. There's this guy, Derek Tan, kid from Bukit Panjang, grew up in a 2-room flat with a single mom working night shifts in a hospital, no silver spoon, just grit, coffee-fueled nights, and that Singaporean hunger for excellence that damn near bleeds out of their DNA. He studied computer engineering, landed a job with a US cybersecurity firm remotely, and started patching up breaches faster than most Americans could find the power button. He saved that company from losing millions. But here's the catch. No visa, no shot, just a thanks for your service over Zoom. Until now. Because 2025, shit's changing. America's tired of begging its broken education system to produce top-tier talent. And guess who's been over-delivering for decades? Singapore. Their people are educated, disciplined, sharp as hell, and they don't flinch under pressure. In finance, in tech, in international business, they don't just play the game, they outsmart the whole damn system. So what's the US doing? Opening the gates. Yeah, more green cards. Easier paths to permanent residency, not because America's feeling generous, but because it needs Singapore's brain power to survive. And if you think that's an exaggeration, just look at the numbers. According to the US Department of Labor, there's a shortfall of over 3.2 million STEM professionals projected by 2026. Who the hell's gonna fill that void? Spoiler alert, it ain't coming from lazy TikTok influencers or rise and grind crypto bros. It's coming from folks like Derek who actually know how to build, fix, and scale the tech, keeping America's economy from imploding. And it's not just tech. Singapore's financial analysts are weapons-grade thinkers. Their managers know how to run international operations smoother than a Rolex. Their healthcare professionals, ruthless with efficiency. You want the truth? America needs Singapore, not the other way around. Pause, real quick, let me call some of you out. You're watching, you're learning, you're nodding your damn head, but you're not even subscribed? What the actual hell? From our stats, more than half of you are ghost watching like it's some secret club. Cut the crap, if you're still here, clearly this hit a nerve. So smash that red button like your future depends on it, because maybe it actually does. All right, back to business. Now here's the kicker. This new US-Singapore pipeline, it's not charity, it's survival strategy. American businesses are bleeding talent. Asia's eating America's lunch in tech innovation. Singapore sits at the epicenter of that dominance, and Uncle Sam knows it can't afford to fall behind. So what happens if the US doesn't bring in this kind of talent? Simple. The collapse of industries, of innovation, of leadership, the very things that made America the dream destination start crumbling. You'll feel it in longer ER wait times, shittier apps, slower banks, and tech that's 5 years behind China. But if this policy sticks, you're gonna see Singaporeans flooding into US companies like rocket fuel. And guess what? Derek finally got that green card. He moved to Austin, bought his mom her first house, and now he's leading a team of Americans at the same company that almost ghosted him. Why? Because talent can't be ignored forever, not even by a broken ass system. And if you're sitting there thinking, damn, this hit close, good, it should, because the rules are changing and the people who get ahead aren't the ones waiting, they're the ones who watch, adapt, and move. So here's the promise. If you think Singapore's rise in 2025 is impressive, wait till you see number 1 on this list. It's a country nobody saw coming, and it might just blow your mind wide open. Stick around, it's about to get even more real. You want to know who's been propping up the collapsing healthcare system in America for decades while everyone else was too busy sipping pumpkin spice and bitching on Twitter? Filipinos, that's who. And now, in 2025, America's finally waking the hell up. Not out of kindness, not because they appreciate diversity, no, because they're on their knees, begging. The system's on fire, and the only people still running into the flames with a fucking smile? Filipinos. Let me spell it out for the people in the back. Hospitals are crumbling. The US is facing a shortfall of over 100,000 healthcare workers, and it's not getting better, it's getting worse. Aging population, nurse burnout, nurses quitting en masse, entire departments running on skeleton crews. You know what's keeping it alive? Filipino workers on visas working double shifts with no family, no backup, and half the goddamn pay. And yet some of you still don't get it. You think this is just about jobs. No, this is about survival. You know what really pisses me off? Filipino nurses made up only 4% of the workforce during COVID, but accounted for 24% of nurse deaths. Let that shit sink in. They weren't just helping, they were dying quietly, alone, for your families, for your broken ass healthcare system. And what did they get? A pat on the back? A fucking sticker? Nah, just another 16-hour shift and a smile. Let me tell you about Maria. She left Cebu with a degree and a dream, lands in New York and gets tossed into an ICU in full meltdown mode. First week on the job, she's watching people code, dying alone with no family in sight. She held the hand of a stranger as they slipped away. No translator, no chaplain, just her sobbing quietly in the break room after her shift because she had to hold it together while everyone else was falling apart. And you know what she did the next day? Came back. No excuse, no bitching, no tweets, just fucking came back. Pause, real quick, let me call some of you out. You're watching, you're learning, you're nodding your damn head, but you're not even sharing this? What the actual fuck? From our stats, more than half of you are ghost watching like it's some secret club. Cut the crap. If you're still here, clearly this hit a nerve. So do something, speak up, tag someone, share the message, start the conversation. Because silence, that's how the system keeps eating good people alive. All right, back to business. Here's what's going down in 2025. The US is finally streamlining green cards for Filipino healthcare workers. That means faster approval, fewer bureaucratic bullshit steps, and a real fucking chance. Over 73 million Americans will be over 65 by 2030. 20 states have declared critical healthcare worker shortages right now. Demand is skyrocketing, and America needs Filipinos more than they need America. Filipino healthcare professionals have proved time and again they're not just workers, they're saviors in scrubs. Real talk. You sitting in Manila, Davao, Bacolod, still thinking maybe next year? You'll miss the boat. The US doesn't keep doors open forever. This is the window, and if you let it close because you were too afraid, too passive, too goddamn hesitant, you'll regret it. And don't come crying when someone else takes your spot, because someone will. Let's not forget, Thailand, they're building the wellness capital of Asia and exporting skilled care workers faster than you can say visa approved. Malaysia's quietly becoming the logistics and manufacturing nerve center of the Pacific, and now their engineers are making moves in US infrastructure. India's not just flooding tech anymore. They're eyeing American hospitals too. Nurses, radiologists, even administrators. Singapore's elite workforce, they're not waiting, they're negotiating with US partnerships, fast-track programs, and more leverage than ever. And the Philippines, it's still the lifeblood of US healthcare. No debate, no question, no backup plan. You think this is just about green cards? This is an arms race, a global talent war, and only the bold get fed. If you're a Filipino healthcare worker and you don't make a move now, you'll get left behind while others cash in. If you're American and still turning your nose up at immigrants, wait till your mom needs home care and no one's left to give it. If you're sitting on a diploma, waiting for some magical sign, this is it. Talk to me in the comments. What bullshit have you faced in applying abroad? What sacrifices has your family made? Are you in healthcare? Are you ready to step into this? I want to hear from the real ones. I'm not here to beg you. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm here to slap the excuses out of your mouth and remind you who the fuck you are. You're not just a worker. You're not a second-class anything. You're the backbone of a global healthcare machine, and it's time you walked like it. Don't go anywhere. This ain't over.